You're listening to the Championship Wrestling Podcast. And here's your host, Dustin Starr.
What a week. Oh boy, welcome to the Championship Wrestling Podcast. And if you aren't up to date on the big news, don't worry, I'll get you all caught up today. Hello everybody, I am Dustin Starr, and thank you so much for joining me. Happy Monday, I hope you had a great weekend. Nearly 1 week ago, we made the big announcement about the premiere of Championship Wrestling from Memphis. That's right, Memphis Wrestling is back. And it's been a long time coming, and we're so excited to be making it happen. We're going to talk all about that, and I'm going to answer all the questions that came in about it over the last week. And of course, we're going to recap Saturday's Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, and we're going to talk a little bit about the future of this very podcast. But first, be sure to follow at CW30 Wrestling on all social media channels, and you can keep up with me at Dustin Starr.
Championship Wrestling is presented by Pro Shingle, a professional roofing company.
Let's run it back with the Championship Wrestling Rewind.
First things first, let's take a look back at Saturday's show. We saw the United World Tag Team titles defended, the women's division action returned, and Jordan Clearwater spoke for the first time since the arrival of Jack Banning. Take a look. Last week on Championship Wrestling, the street tax was due when the Bodega defended their United Tag Team titles against 4 minutes of heat.
But again, I don't think you're going to see much of the signature double teaming. Uh-oh, the referee's back is turned, low bridge. And boy, you are deep in the wrong part of town. And a big clothesline by Slice. He slices, he dices, and he causes damage.
Ruby Ray's absolutely hammered Milo Matters.
Holding on to her now is Ray's going to deposit her on the canvas. Oh no, this is absolutely not where you want to be. Oh, just spikes Milo Matters, the center of the ring. Nasty business indeed, and a nasty demeanor by Ray.
And Jordan Clearwater spoke for the first time since the arrival of Jack Banning.
Look, okay, Jack spent quarantine locked in an asylum, but so did I. I spent quarantine locked in an asylum with Blake Troop, and I've learned, and I've worked hard to get to where I am today. And regardless of what's going on in Jack's mind, there's only one thing spinning in mine, and that's getting my revenge. It all comes down to one thing. Guillotine or not, I've got a weapon of my own. Left leg hospital, right leg cemetery.
All that and so much more on the fastest hour in pro wrestling. Watch episode 94 in full at youtube.com/Championship Wrestling. It was another exciting episode on Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. I think we have to mention Jody Sutton wrestling in his whitey-tighty underwear. A little bit disturbing. Darwin Finch did pick up the victory to try to cheer up Gentleman Jervis. And of course, Jervis wasn't quite ready to talk about what happened the previous week with his friend, or should I say his former friend, Sweet Robin Shaw. He didn't want to talk about it just yet, but hopefully we'll hear from Jervis soon. And we also heard from Ray Rosas, who seems to be turning over a new leaf again. So I pose the question, do you believe him? Tweet us right now at CW30 Wrestling. I'm not so sure if I believe him. We're going to talk Championship Wrestling from Memphis next.
Look out! Here's what's coming up for Championship Wrestling.
Look out for Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Oh, yeah. All right, so let me get you all caught up just in case you don't know the announcement about the premiere and the tapings of Championship Wrestling from Memphis came last Tuesday. So nearly 1 week ago, the official press release went out. It was all over social media, and man, it caused quite the buzz. Also, Along with the announcement about the premiere of Championship Wrestling from Memphis, we relaunched our website. So do me a favor, head over to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com and check out all the new features, our television taping schedule. You can purchase tickets for the television taping there as well. Of course, you have to click on roster. That page has been updated almost every single day since the announcement, so you can get a little sneak peek of who you might see on Championship Wrestling from Memphis. But I wanted to go through this just real quick and then answer your questions. So when we made the announcement and we released the tickets, ringside seats sold out. We announced on Tuesday, sold out on Wednesday evening. So less than 48 hours, we sold all 30 of our ringside seats. Now, we only have 75 tickets due to the capacity restrictions that we have following the CDC guidelines. We're also allowed to have 125, but we're going to keep it underneath that capacity, so it will be 75 to start. Once those tickets are gone, they are gone. You can pick up general admission tickets for just $10 at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com, and also kids 10 and under are only $5. And the whole reason is we wanted to price this thing to where friends and families and larger families could all come, not just once, but can come back over and over and over again. So the television schedule is on championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. It's going to be February 14th. That's Sunday, and that is Valentine's Day. People have pointed that out to me. It's because we love Memphis wrestling. And then we'll be back on March the 7th, and then we'll be back again for more tapings on April 11th. So this isn't just a one-and-done thing. We're premiering a brand new television series called Championship Wrestling from Memphis, and the actual television premiere on CW30 at high noon, and also on YouTube Premiere right here on this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Championship Wrestling. The television premiere will be on February 27th, and to say that I am excited about this would be a major understatement. I am fired up just like everybody else.
Be a part of history on February 14th at 2 p.m. Memphis Wrestling is back. Join us at Top of the Line Event Hall for live TV tapings. Limited tickets are on sale now at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com.
All right, let's dig into a little Q&A. These questions all came in on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. I was asked these questions, so I kind of compiled them all today to where I can answer them all at once for you guys. So if you have any additional questions, go ahead and hit me up at CW30 Wrestling. You can also send us an email at championshipwrestlingmemphis@gmail.com, or you can go to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com and just click contact and send us your question. Question number 1 was, is Hollywood going away? Absolutely not. We just celebrated 500 episodes. They've been in business for over 10 years. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood is not going anywhere. Basically what we have is the United Wrestling Network is the umbrella that sanctions Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Championship Wrestling from Arizona, and now the brand new Championship Wrestling from Memphis. So Hollywood is not going anywhere. We're just basically flipping our show and premiering a brand new television show and a brand new television series called Championship Wrestling from Memphis. That was the goal since day one. When we started syndicating the Hollywood program, we wanted to have Championship Wrestling from Memphis, and now we're there. Question number 2 was, who's going to be on the show? Who? Well, I said it earlier. Go to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com and click roster, and you're going to see a lot of your favorites, a lot of familiar faces from the Mid-South area and from classic Memphis wrestling. So just to give you a couple, Alan Steele, one of the very best, hardest hitting wrestlers in the Mid-South, will be there. Derek King, a lot of you know him from Power Pro Wrestling and of course Memphis Wrestling throughout the years. He will be there, of course. You've got Humongous that you saw wrestle Watts at the Spooktacular Drive-In event. He is a classic Memphis Wrestling character that we are bringing back for the program. Also a couple of the legends, man. King Cobra, the first ever African-American world champion here in Memphis, pinned Jerry Lawler at Mid-South Coliseum. I've got a really cool interview right here on the YouTube program. So if you go to playlist, Classic Memphis Wrestling, you can find my interview with King Cobra inside Mid-South Coliseum in the exact spot where he pinned Jerry Lawler to become champion. He's going to be on the program. Sir Mo, former WWF World Tag Team Champion. He also managed the WWF World Champion, Mabel. So the King of the Ring, Sir Mo has a long, rich history, not only in professional wrestling, but also Memphis Wrestling as well. Go to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com and click roster, and you'll see exactly who's going to be on the show. Now, not all of them are there. We got to have a couple of surprises. Question number 3. Will Hollywood wrestlers be on the Memphis show? Absolutely. We've grown accustomed to the Hollywood performers. So I would absolutely expect to see some of the championship wrestling from Hollywood characters, as well as the United Wrestling Network right here on the Memphis show. Now, keep in mind, the United TV champion, the United World Tag Team champions, when we crown a United World Champion and a United Wrestling Network Women's Champion, those are traveling champions, kind of similar like to the NWA, what they used to be. So all of those championships will be recognized here on Championship Wrestling from Memphis, but also we're going to crown our own champions as well, just like Hollywood, just like Arizona. So we are a new program, a new sanction under the umbrella of the United Wrestling Network. The next question has been asked a ton of times. What happens to the current show? Well, the current show continues like it is, but instead of tuning in to our YouTube premiere and seeing the Hollywood show, and instead of tuning in every Saturday at noon on CW30 to watch the Hollywood show, you're going to see the Memphis show. So the Hollywood program will still be available on Fight TV. Also, you can see some of that programming on YouTube on the United Wrestling Network's YouTube channel. But as far as at CW30 Wrestling and Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, it will change 100% to be Championship Wrestling from Memphis. The next question, how can we watch Championship Wrestling from Memphis? That's easy. Right here on our official YouTube channel, youtube.com/Championship Wrestling. Go ahead and subscribe and turn those notifications on. And also you can watch, like I've said, in the viewing area of CW30 Memphis. That's the only places that you'll be able to watch Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Another question that I've been asked quite a bit is how can we watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood? Well, I think I just said it, but Fight TV, KDOC, you can watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood all across the United States on about 120, 125 different networks. That's easy. So that show is not going anywhere. It's just you won't find it on our YouTube channel as of February the 27th. Last but certainly not least, will we see Dustin and Maria Starr in the ring? And I've got 2 words for you. Oh yeah! Now myself and my Maria will have hosting duties, just like always, and we are super excited to bring our hosting duties to the commentary table. And I know we have some big shoes to fill, not only from Memphis, but the United Wrestling Network. Todd Kinley, James Kincaid, and of course Blake Bulletproof Troop have done a fantastic job, and they've raised the bar so high that it's going to be impossible to reach the same level that they have, especially starting out. But also in the history of Memphis Wrestling, you've got Lance Russell and Dave Brown, 2 of the very best to ever do it. So we are excited to be calling all the action, and then also we plan to have some special guests at the broadcast booth with us. And I might have already said too much, but be on lookout. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you never know when somebody might pick a fight at the desk, and then I have to tear my suit off and take care of some business inside the squared circle. And I'm kind of looking around here looking for Ray Rosas. So you never know. But to be continued, tune into Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Go to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. The tickets are still on sale. General admission will sell out. There's only a handful left. They're only $10. championshipwrestlingmemphis.com is where you can get them. If you have any other questions, send them our way at CW30 Wrestling.
Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Dustin and Maria Starr, Alan Steele, Derek King, The Posse, King Cobra, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
Okay, real quick, this podcast will be changing format along with the premiere of Championship Wrestling from Memphis. That doesn't mean it's going away, so don't worry. We're still going to have the podcast. It just means that it'll get a fresh coat of paint and possibly some new hosts. How about that? Not only will Championship Wrestling from Memphis premiere on Saturday, February 27th, but immediately following the show, Rolling into Mempho will premiere with Brian Tremell and Rhino JB. And for those of you who don't know Classic Memphis, go ahead and Google Rolling into Mempho, Handsome Jimmy Valiant. I'll give you a little rendition. Rolling into Mempho, TWA. Tell all the women Handsome Jimmy's on the way. Oh, that hurts my voice. Anyways, Handsome Jimmy Valiant, WWE Hall of Famer. He was notorious for saying rolling into Mempho to come take care of some business. So that's the play off of that. Rolling into Mempho with Brian Tremell and Rhino JB will premiere on Saturday, February 27th at approximately 1 p.m. Now, for those of you who don't know, Brian Tremell, or as I like to call him, BT, he's from stspod.club. He's a great podcaster, has an awesome following. Go check him out. And also, you can learn more about Rhino JB. We've actually had him on this podcast. He's an awesome wrestling Twitch content provider. I guess you could say he has an online wrestling league. Go check him out at twitch.tv/RhinoJB. And they're actually going to provide an unbiased opinion. They're going to recap our brand new program. They're going to get you the hits, the misses, the MVP of the show, and so much more. So it's not just going to be talking good about us. If there's anything bad to say, they're going to throw that in there too. But they better be careful. So there is a wave of change coming, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready for Championship Wrestling from Memphis and Rolling into Mempho podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Championship Wrestling Podcast.
Thank you for joining us. What an edition. Hopefully I got you all caught up. It was an exciting week for us here at Championship Wrestling as we are on the road to Memphis. And if you missed any episode, you can find them in the archives at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com or, of course, youtube.com/Championship Wrestling. And we hope to see you on Saturday in the live chat at noon right here on YouTube Premiere. And you never know who's going to show up. Last week we had Ruby Reyes, Anthony Idol, Todd Kenley, Danny Limelight, Papo Esco, Darwin Finch. We had the who's who of Championship Wrestling right there chatting along with the fans. I think we had 120-something people all in there. And for those of you who know YouTube, that's a pretty strong number for Saturday at noon, to watch a live stream. But we hope to see you all on Saturday. Keep up with us at CW30 Wrestling. And until then, I am Dustin Starr, saying so long, everybody.